Hello, and welcome to Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. I'm Gloria.
And hi, everyone. I'm Rosetta over here on this side of the screen. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Couple of
Yes,
days away from Christmas. So, again, we have our festive hats on.
yes, yes,
Yay!
yes.
Yes. And before we get started, I want to wish everyone happy holidays.
Happy
And as
holidays.
usual, don't forget to like, subscribe, and if possible, when you see this video or any of our chats and you love them, why not share it with a friend of yours? We would love that.
Yes, yes.
So, so because it is going to be our last chat before the new year, we decided that we're going to do something different in regards to our teas. And we've decided to spike up our teas a little bit. So, what I have right here is, as you all know, it's not going to be a surprise. I love my licorice teas, right? So, I have licorice tea with some scotch in there.
Woo-hoo!
Now, don't make that face, all right, everyone watching. I didn't think it would go, but I poured some in and it tastes amazing with the licorice. I've actually had licorice tequila before, and it's
Wow.
amazing. So, this is very similar licorice and scotch. So, everyone, cheers
Cheers.
with my
Cheers.
hard tea, and we're going to see what Gloria is drinking today.
I am also having a little hard tea. So instead of a traditional Long Island iced tea, which has gin and vodka and I think it's like bourbon or it has one dark liquor in it. Oh, rum. That's what it is, rum. I decided to try a regular tea with some wine to make a winey iced tea. So,
Nice. And what kind of
yeah,
wine is it? Is it white wine?
yeah, it is actually a white Zinfandel.
Oh, white Zinfandel. I have
Yeah,
not
because
had
I
a
didn't
white
want it to be
Zinfandel
too
before.
sweet. I wanted it to just kind of blend, and it's a floral. It's very, smells amazing. So,
Nice.
cheers.
Cheers, everyone. Yummy.
Mm,
And don't worry,
yes,
we're
it
not
is.
going to get drunk.
No, no, we're
we're
just
drinking
celebrating with you all.
we're drinking responsibly over here.
Absolutely. So, as always, we want you to always give us those thumbs up because that's what's important.
Yes, thumbs up. There's an icon. Like us.
Yes, please. So, we always kick off our videos talking about Ellen, and Ellen reminds us to be kind to one another and to listen to one another. And as you know, she's off the air right now taking care of herself because she contracted COVID, and we don't know how far within the organization, but she had the little people in the boxes, and she also had people in the virtual audience. So, you know, get well, Ellen. We miss you, and we cannot wait to see you in 2021.
Yes, we're going to see you in 20, along with everyone else that's actually on hiatus right now. We'll see
Yes,
you for a great 2021. And we know that you're doing well, right? Because of that little message you sent everyone.
absolutely. 2020 has been a very interesting year. A lot of changes to our normal lives. And as an example, Rosetta and I used to meet face to face, side by side. We would sit together, we would chat, we would
Yes.
drink tea. So when we talked about the essence, we could smell the teas because we were together. We haven't been together since March 13th. It has been a long time. So we are also looking forward to the future and being able to be together.
Yes, we
So,
are.
yes, so today we thought we would kind of look back at 2020. So, the first thing we thought about was the last time there were in person activities. So, Super Bowl was in February with J Lo and Sakara. And
Shakira.
Sakara and J Lo, they got their groove on. That was amazing. I mean, I can't think, I think it was like 60,000 people were in that stadium. A lot of people.
And who would have known that right around the corner, that's it, no more in-person events.
Nope, never would have known that. And the next thing that I can remember that occurred before, we all went into sheltering at home, on January 26th, we lost Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gigi, and there were 7 other friends and associates on the helicopter. So there was a Kobe Bryant memorial. And once again, thousands of people showed up to show their love and respect. That was such a shaking point for 2020 because we saw men, big men like Shaq, crying, just losing control of themselves because of the devastating way in which Kobe lost his life. And on the 27th, the Grammys, we heard about him losing his life, and then Alicia Keys did the Grammys. I think it was either that night or the night after, very, very close. And she and Boyz II Men did a tribute to Kobe, and they sang "It's So Hard to Say Goodbye."
That
I
was,
mean,
oh my gosh. I kept watching that performance with Alicia Keys and Boyz II Men over and over again. I
yes,
mean, I was so impressed at how Alicia Keys stepped up at the
yeah,
last minute and was able to do what she did with such great composure. I just love
yes,
Alicia Keys and her amazing voice. That was the perfect song. It's great.
absolutely. And I kept waiting to hear the cracks in their voice because you could see the emotion on their face, and they held it through. And like you said, great job. So those were about the last 2 big events that I think we saw thousands of people together.
Right, I think so too. I can't think of any others. Now, if you know of any others that were big events on TV, comment below because maybe we
Yeah,
missed out something. But those are the ones that came on the top of our heads straight away.
right. So let's just kind of keep this flowing and talk about some top events of 2020. I remember, I remember very vividly when Tom Hanks announced that he and his wife, Rita Wilson, had contracted COVID. They were in Australia to do a movie, and he was like, "It's going to be okay." However, when they're doing the announcement, Rita's eyes are red, bloodshot red. And I thought, whoa. I mean, because number one, you've got a condition that at the time we don't know that much about. You can't travel. You have to stay where you are until you're over it. And to be so far away from home, I thought that had to be very, very hard. And I know it was impactful on me because I love Tom Hanks and Rita.
Yes, to have a celebrity, the first, I think he was one of the first
He
celebrities
was
that
the first.
actually contracted COVID, and we
Yeah,
were shocked. And little
yeah,
did we know what was going to happen.
absolutely. And another major activity that occurred, Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan stepped away from the royals because things started happening in their lives that gave him memories of what happened to his mom. And if you look at the chain of command, and Rosetta, you can step in and help me here because I'm just kind of guessing. I think it's Prince Charles is first to be king, then Prince William, then Prince George, then the daughter. What is her name?
Um,
Princess. I
oh,
can see
good
her beautiful
question.
little face.
Good question. Is it, wow, why don't I know this?
I know, Miss England.
Sophie, Sarah? I don't remember.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
she's next. Okay. And then the last baby, and then Harry. So, from a, you know, he would be king perspective, it's like that's not going to happen right now. And he wanted the opportunity to protect his wife and to protect his child. So they left the UK and they moved to the United States. Well, first they moved to Canada, and
yes.
then they moved to the United States. And Tyler Perry was gracious enough to let them live in his home, one of his homes, while they decided where they wanted their final resting place to be. That was a big aha moment for 2020.
That's
No
funny.
one's
You
ever
said,
left the crown before.
that's funny. You said the phrase final resting place. I was like, whew, that sounds like something else.
No, no, no. Final location for living.
Yes. Yeah, that's what came to my mind when you said that.
Yes, well,
Yes.
most of our conversations go that way. So we're going to bring it back to the living and having fun.
Yeah, and
So,
as I have to say, I love Meghan and I love Harry, and it's great that he did this to protect his family. But I must say, I miss them. I
yes.
miss seeing them in the limelight and having press on them. But I understand that he's doing what
Yeah.
he has to do to protect him and his family. So that's
Yeah.
good for you. But just to let you know, I miss you both.
Yes. And, recently they did announce that Duchess Meghan had lost a baby. So we send our thoughts and prayers to you. Like Rosetta said, we miss you both very much. We see the good that you're doing in the world and we applaud what you're doing. Keep up the good work, stay safe, and welcome to America.
Yep. Thank you so much for highlighting them. Love them.
Yes. We also noticed that while we've all been sheltering at home, most of us have been sheltering at home for 10 months. Just let that roll around your head. 10 months of sheltering at home, only leaving to go to grocery stores, doctors, pharmacies, very minimal access to people. So, one of the things that the network started to do is they were like, people are stuck at home. Let's see if they would like to see their old shows. So old shows like Good Times and Saved by the Bell, they re-upped them and released them, and they did really well on the ratings. I loved watching them. How about you?
I actually didn't watch any of them. I know that they were out, but I didn't watch them. But I did hear that they had good ratings, which is good, which is very, very good. And they actually brought back a lot of old time shows on Netflix, which I really enjoyed as well, because you can watch it without the commercials, which is what I loved.
Oh, I love that. Now, a lot of people are talking about the musical components of what's going on right now. So there is a young man known as The Weeknd. He has been on billboards, the top of billboards for months. He dropped a CD. I think the CD had like 13 songs. And of the 13 songs, most of them have been on the top 100. I mean, everywhere you turn. And I am not a Weekend fan, so I haven't really heard a lot of the music. People have said that he makes you feel good. There's upbeat dancing music, there's mellow music. So whatever you're looking for, he gives you. Now he's going to be performing at the Super Bowl this year, so that'll be really interesting. So top Billboard, at the what are those? The VMAs. He won lots of awards for this same particular album we're talking about. However, he was snubbed by the Grammys, not one single nomination. So a lot of people are just not feeling the love there. And my sister and I, we were talking because back in the day, Janet Jackson and Whitney Houston were kind of competitive, direct competition. So one year, Janet Jackson dropped Rhythm Nation. That was the toughest album on the block. However, Whitney Houston won all the awards that night, and everyone was like, I don't understand. And Whitney would go up and she'd go, "Oh, another one for me." And I was, my sister, she was a Whitney girl, I was a Janet Jackson girl, and I would like, she need to go sit down.
Well, I
So,
do remember one award where Janet Jackson was going up against Mariah Carey, and Mariah Carey won. And
yep.
people were feeling that Janet Jackson got snubbed. So I didn't understand that.
I think it must have something to do with the timing of the release of the album, because it's never when it's supposed to be. There's always a delay. So now The Weeknd may just win everything the next season, but right now his fans are not, they are not liking this at all.
Well, I just think it's weird because he won all these awards, like you said. And here's no disrespect to Alicia Keys. She has an amazing voice. Not Alicia Keys. Who am I talking? Beyonce. Beyonce has an
Yeah,
amazing voice. And as we've
that's
mentioned
right.
before, she has 9 Grammy nominations.
Yeah.
So,
And I think a lot of it is from the mini movies she did. Um, you know
it,
how she just did a new, instead of it being a video, it turned into like a movie. And
right,
I'm
right.
sure that's what it's from. It's just that people are, they're just like, mm-mm. She didn't
No.
drop a new album. How can she win all these
Yeah, I
nominations?
didn't see what she had brought. I know what you're talking about, but I didn't see it. So, but still,
Yeah.
you would at least think one nomination, right? One or two
Yeah.
nominations.
At least one.
Right.
Yes. So everyone just tune into the Grammys, and all of this is happening in 2021. I'm sure your girls, we will check it out and we will let you know what's going on.
For sure.
Yes. So we all learned new words in 2020, like Zoom, Skype, WebEx, Google. I mean, everywhere we turned, someone was sending an invite or saying, you need to jump on this call, you need to do this. So our children went from being in person learning to, jumping on the Zoom and Skype. And I tell you, while I have learned to adapt, as you can see, we're doing our chat using one of those services, it's not the same. And I have heard that it has had a truly impact on our children because they're missing out on the touchy feely. They're missing out on the human interaction. So now that there's a vaccine, I'm hoping that we're going to get our teachers vaccinated so that we can get our kids back in classes. So Zoom and Skype are hot in 2020. However, I hope in person is going to be just as exciting in 2021.
Yeah, we're all looking forward to that in person. That's what I miss the most, in person meetings.
Yes. Now, another thing that happened in 2020, since we're all sheltering, what are you going to do? People started cooking and posting their recipes. The one recipe that just went across the entire world was baking sourdough bread.
Oh,
Not for me. How about you, Rosetta? Did you
no,
bake it? No?
no, we actually went on YouTube and looked it up. And then afterwards, we didn't do anything.
Well, one of the things is the traditional ingredients are not for everybody.
Right.
Some people are like gluten. They wanted gluten free. They wanted this. They tried to modify the recipes. Now you talk about funny. Like instead of using standard flour, they used almond flour or something like that, and so it has
Gluten-free
no
flour.
rising capability. There's no yeast. There's no this. I mean, it was interesting to say the least. However, Rosetta and I didn't get on that bandwagon.
Did not jump on that. The other one that was quite big was doing like banana cakes. I saw a lot of banana cakes.
Oh,
And I actually did make my own banana cake. So I jumped on the banana cake bandwagon.
wonderful. Did you freeze some or you just made it and ate it?
No, we just made it and ate it. I did it with almond flour. It was a banana chocolate chip loaf.
Yes. I know Rosetta has this wonderful almond milk recipe. And every time she posts it, I go, I really got to try that. I really got to try that. So I was like, I'm going to do it. So out I go one day, mask up, got my goggles. I'm ready. I go into Costco to get my almonds. I get to the door and I swear everybody in America was inside the store. So I'm like, this is going to have to wait. I am going to do it though, because it looks really easy and it looks very simple and I
Easy.
cannot wait.
It is easy, but don't forget, tip of the day, get almonds organic. You have to
That's
get
right.
organic almonds.
That's right. So that's where I went because they have a really nice organic almond there. So, and friends have told me that it's really good. And as you know, trying to get into Trader Joe's and Whole Foods right now is crazy. So I figured Costco would be a little less. I could just swoop in, get my almonds, swoop out. Nah, not so
No,
much.
not so much, not so much. But however, if you go to Safeway, there's no line to get into Safeway.
Oh, that's right. And there's a new Safeway over near you. So I'm going to have to check that out because that Safeway before it closed had the best produce. And so I'm looking forward to going back and checking it out.
Yes.
Cool. As we've shared with you through the year, we've had lots of discussions about global warming. So, global warming shows up in many different ways. I think that's why some people have such a hard time believing it exists because they're like, oh, it's just weather. When you have half of your country on fire, the middle of your country is just, freezing, and the exterior of your company is being hit by hurricanes, that kind of makes you wonder, wait a minute, there's more to this. So we had fires in California. We had on the East Coast, they had storms, tropical storms and hurricanes. Um, as a matter of fact, Louisiana, Texas, Florida, they were hit pretty bad. Now, Louisiana and Texas and Florida, they're along the Gulf line. However, these storms traveled up. And I have an aunt who lives in Beaumont, Texas. That's not on the border. That's up into the middle of Texas. And they got hit pretty hard. We saw places where, like even today, where it is typically the weather is cold. It's either not as cold as normal. So some people are saying, oh, we have California weather, or it is like a chill factor of less than 10. There is global warming. We have to work together to figure out how to better live on the planet. It's the only one we've got. I know people are trying to go to Mars and they're looking at alternatives. However, like what is Rosetta's favorite saying?
Mine is prevention is always better than intervention.
Yes, ma'am. So if you follow my girls' advice, let's take care of the planet that we live on. Let's make sure it's safe for our children. These storms are not going away.
And it was, I tell you another thing that we know it's global warming is because in California, in August, we had thunder and lightning. And that's what started all those fires. That was the
Yeah.
catalyst.
Yeah.
So
And
what do you say about that?
Yeah. Normally we don't have thunder and lightning. I mean, it was really interesting because I'm originally from the South. And when it would start thundering and lightning, we would always get in our beds, or sometimes when we were kids, we would get under the beds because it's just so loud. And I heard the noise and I was like, what is that noise? Is somebody bumping their music? Because it was just not normal for California. However, we had our fair share.
And that was little did we know that that was the catalyst that started the fires, and the fires burned acres and acres. It wasn't just thousands of acres, it was millions of acres.
Millions.
Millions. Yeah.
So that devastation is going to be around for a while. I don't know if many of you remember, there is a place that was, well, it was devastated, called Paradise. And a lot of people in Paradise lost their homes due to fires. These people relocated to different locations. Can I tell you, during the recent fires, some of them have lost their home again. I mean, it's hard enough to lose it once and then to lose everything a second time.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine the devastation. I really can't even imagine. That must be like, you'd be thinking, why me? Why me?
Yeah. And there was families that were online talking about it, and they were like, it is what it is, and we're just going to continue, and we're going to rebuild. And I'm like, now that is special, because like Rosetta said, a lot of people would be like, I don't know what to do. I'm just lost for words.
Yeah, we love that. So yes, I do know a lot of people, they just kept an even keel and they said, we have to do what we have to do to get through this. But obviously we don't know everyone. So we
Right.
don't know. Some people just couldn't handle it. And some people said, we got to do what we got to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is another sign of the global warming. And thinking about fires, I was just thinking back to the ones that were happening in Australia, the bushfires that
Yes.
went on for months and months, over 3 months, I think. And a lot of the animals got burnt or,
Yes.
extremely
Remember the
injured.
koalas? They said
Right.
if they weren't able to curtail the fires, that we would lose the koalas, the whole species.
Yeah. So think again, everyone. If you think it's not global warming, think, have we had this happen in the past over the last 10 years?
Yes, so true. Since we've all been sheltering at home, we've probably watched more television than we would ever have expected to watch in our entire lives. So, we're going to talk a little bit about favorite shows, movies, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, one of the first things that was a oh my God moment, Disney Plus televised Hamilton. So many people have wanted to see Hamilton for years. However, there was no way of doing that because as soon as the tickets would be announced, they would sell out. And we got to sit at home in the comfort and watch Hamilton.
Yep, that was huge because Disney Plus, they just came out this year, right? So
Right.
that was really fitting that it came out in due time and during this pandemic. And I think they did it correct because a lot of people, yeah, as you said, couldn't get tickets. And I know that we actually did go and see Hamilton.
Yes.
I don't remember when it was. Last year, did
It
we
was
see it?
just, no, it was just earlier this year because you and I were talking about it and you said how, we were talking about it because I think when Manuel was saying, remember with all the devastation, I think Puerto Rico got hit and he was
Yes.
going to take Hamilton there. And that's when you shared that you had and your family had seen it.
Right, right.
So it
So
was
it
either
must have been
last
this
year
year
or
then.
early this year. Yeah, it's
Must have
been
been
very
this
recent.
year. So yeah, so that was hard for us to get tickets. And oh my goodness, to see it on Disney Plus was amazing. I mean, even though you see it live, it's not quite the same because you have to get front row seats to actually
Row.
see
Yes,
their facial
their
expressions and
faces.
everything. And when they're filming it, you see everything up close and personal. So that was a very nice what was the word I'm going to say? Very nice. Well, I don't even know the word. I'm blanking now, but it was so nice to
Yeah,
see
it
it
was just a
on
nice
Disney Plus.
experience. And
Yes.
the blessing of all of that is that was the original cast and they filmed it the first week of production because they were, how you film so that you can go back and critique. So
Yes.
this was the original full cast, which you can't see anymore because everybody's not continuing to do it. So it was such a wonderful blessing.
Yes, it was. And ever since they had done that and aired it on Disney Plus, that cast have been doing so many talk shows, been interviewed all over. You can see them on YouTube. And now
Yes.
we get a sense of who the real cast is, who they are, what they're about, how they got the roles.
Yes.
Pretty fun to watch. Very,
Excellent.
very nice.
And you were talking about extractions.
Yes, I watched a film called Extraction with my guy, Chris Helmsworth. Love him. Love him. Everybody know who he is? He's Thor. He
Yes.
plays Thor. And this film was done specifically for Netflix. And I'm going to read a little caption of what it's about. It's about, this is what they say, so I can get the real meaning of what it is. A black market mercenary who has nothing to lose is hired to rescue the kidnapped son of an imprisoned crime lord. But in the murky underworld of weapon dealers and drug traffickers, an already deadly mission approaches the impossible. So this film is based on a true story. I read this, I didn't know this, based on a true story of a Long Island superintendent who was convicted of stealing millions from his school district and
Wow.
true history of the Kelly Gang. So I guess there's a gang called the Kelly Gang, a biopic about Australia's most notorious. So because it did so well, Extraction, they're in the works of making another sequel, Extraction 2. That's what I heard. So I'm so excited. I'm like, yes,
Nice. Nice. We love that. Love
yes,
that.
yes.
There's also a thing called The Crown. And The Crown has been around for a few years, few seasons. Well, this year they rolled up the sleeves and did a whole season predominantly about Lady Di. And it has been met with lots of controversy, as you can imagine, because the royals are saying that's not true, that's not the real truth. And so they went back and they said, you're going to have to put a disclaimer, because and I think in the beginning it says it's based on fact and fiction. However, it's just been a whole lot of uproar. The young lady that plays her looks so much like her.
Oh, Lady
um
Di?
yes.
Okay, I have
So
not seen The Crown.
yes, no, we haven't. We're going to check it out in 2021, because it is just infamous how many people are into it, and how many people the day after they talk about it. So I try and stay away. So I will be given the opportunity to watch it and make my own opinion. But that is something that there was a lot of shows about that this season.
Yeah, and I only know I know the lady that plays the Queen because she's in another British crime series that I'd watched on Netflix over the pandemic called Broadchurch, and that was a really good miniseries.
Excellent. Also, some of the doctor shows that we know and love, like Grey's Anatomy and The Good Doctor, they restarted after COVID. And they started up in, I think it was either late October or early November. And the thing for me that has been so, just so touching, is they show you what it's like when you go to the hospital, how you take someone to the hospital and you never see them again. They are putting it real right in our face. So you can't walk around and say, oh, I didn't think it was that bad, I didn't know that could happen. So I really applaud them, because one of the main characters on Grey's Anatomy, Dr. Meredith Grey, i.e., the name Grey's Anatomy, has COVID, and she's not doing good.
Yeah, The Good Doctor, exactly the same. They had one of the nurses who's on the show periodically. She came down with COVID and she asked one of the doctors, am I going to die? And that
Yeah.
was kind of heart wrenching. And she did pass away from COVID, which was really sad. And you could see
Yeah.
what transpires, but they really made it so like lifelike, realistic. Like what happens when someone passes away from COVID? What
Right.
happens to their belongings? They're not allowed to,
Yes.
it gets taken with them. They're not allowed to give it back to their loved ones. That's something that's heart wrenching.
Yeah. I mean, because you don't think, oh, I'm sick, I'm going to the doctor, I should take off my earrings, especially if you're wearing posts. You don't think about that. However, they don't know how the condition spreads, the virus spreads. So you can't get anything back. And for me, when I was watching The Good Doctor, she was a nurse. She knew the steps, and she told them, I don't want to be on a ventilator. And they went back to her, and because everybody that goes on the ventilator, it's a very high probability that's it, you're not going to make it. And she didn't want that to happen. And they did beautiful things, like the whole staff would stand outside the window where she was so that she could see them. And people who did recover it, as they're leaving the hospital, they would applaud them, because it is a rough situation. So Good Doctor, Grey's Anatomy, you're both doing a fabulous job of just sensitizing us to what's going on.
That's true, very true. And another show that has done really well and just started not too long ago is called All Rise. And this was
Yeah.
one that Gloria made me aware of. And she said that the storylines are about social injustice and different things that's happening in our society of late. And that's what really got me excited about watching it. And I watched the first episode after it had aired because I didn't know anything about it, but I'm kind of addicted to it and I
Yeah.
really like it. So that show's called All Rise. So if
Yes.
you guys want to tune in, watch it. It airs on Monday nights.
Yes. And please comment below and let us know what you think. We love it.
Yes. Yep, we do.
Yes. And then the last one, everybody's talking about it. So if you didn't see the finale last night, fast forward. Don't listen to this part. So that we started out the bachelorette season with Claire. Claire fell in love. She's like, Dale, this is my husband. I know he's my husband. She tells the producers of the show, I'm done. I got what I came for. So they bring Tasha in. So Tasha comes in, they bring in some more guys. They've been sequestered. They've done the whole show. And last night was the finale. And she picked the guy that she says makes her feel the best. She feels his love, which is important if you're going to do this. What do you think?
Yeah, she picked Zach. For any of you, well, you've watched it. If you haven't watched it, sorry, we did tell you to fast forward.
We sure
She picked
did.
Zach, but out of the three that were left that went to visit, well, was it three? Yeah, that went to visit. No, only two of them went to visit her parents, right? Three of them did hometowns. And out of the three, I really liked Ivan the best. He's the one that comes from the interracial family,
Right. Like
half
her
African
inspiration.
American and half Filipino, right?
Yes.
So I
Yes.
really liked him. I thought I wanted him
I
because
did too.
yes, we both wanted him, but
Yes.
sad to say that before she did the final rose ceremony down to the last two, she actually pulled him aside and said, Ivan, can I speak to you? And it was because of his religion that
Right.
he felt that she couldn't continue with the relationship with him. And that's huge. I know in a lot of relationships, that's huge because I think
Yes.
he's Catholic, right? And I don't think she wanted to probably switch over her religion to be a Catholic. I mean, you
Right.
can. There are steps
Right.
that you can do that, but I don't think she wanted. So that didn't work out. But in the end, it was out of Ben and Zach, and I really wanted Ben, but in the end, she chose Zach. So
Yeah.
that's how it goes.
Yes. So now it's on to The Bachelor, which starts in January. And for the first time, they have a Black bachelor who says he's never been in love. So Chris is taking on the fact that he's going to show him what love feels like. So for those of you who are Bachelor Nation, you only have a few weeks and then it starts all over again.
That's going to be hard to actually have a bachelor come on that's never known what true love is. Because
Yes.
how do you explain? How do you know if you've never felt it?
Yeah,
How can you tell that you're really in love, or is it just infatuation, or is it because of the show? Well,
exactly.
that's going to be a tough one. And I'm interested to find out. But going through, I'm sure, same with Gloria and myself, we've probably been through, a few boyfriends, and we know what true love is. So this is going to be
Absolutely.
a hard one for him.
Absolutely. I completely agree. So, we are Silicon Valley girls that chat over tea. So, over the season of 2020, we have had some amazing teas. We've had Tulsi Sweet Rose, which smells like a fresh rose, Tulsi Lemon Ginger, combination of lemon and ginger. Honey Lemon Ginseng, Radiant Beauty is one of the ones I drank, which is based on blueberry. Uh, Anything with licorice in it is Rosetta's favorite tea. So
Yes,
why
it
don't you
is.
comment down below and let us know what is your favorite tea and what did you experience as far as tea during this shelter at home?
Yeah, we'd like to know. And as Gloria said, my go-to is licorice. I love anything with licorice in it. And ginger, turmeric, ginger, licorice are my favorites, but I'm open. I'm not closed-minded. So if any of you out there want to introduce us to some new teas, we'd be all
Yes.
open for it because we love teas. We're open-minded to any kind of teas.
Absolutely. And we had three places that we got to visit before the lockdown occurred. One is called Tea on the Avenue in Los Gatos in California. All of these are in Northern California. The Silicon Valley Capital Club and Steepers in Campbell. So after all of this is over, we're giving you all notice we are going to go back to these locations as well as future locations because it's all about experiencing a good cup of tea. There's nothing like it.
Yes, we will. And we'll also be visiting different tea stores that carry teas and sell tea accessories and just all kinds of things tea. That's what we're going to be doing.
Absolutely. So we always do a COVID update, and today we don't want to do numbers. Everyone knows what's going on. You all know, first and foremost, please wear your mask, please social distance, and please wash your hands. And I don't mean this mask. I've been out and people will get out of car and pull their t-shirt up. And I'm
Mhm.
like, that's not a mask.
Oh,
That's not
yes.
shielding you. That's not protecting you. Make sure that the mask is over your nose and your mouth. Where you can, wear goggles to protect your eyes. So in Northern California, where Rosetta and I are, our daily new cases are still on the rise. So our governor, as well as governors throughout, like Governor Cuomo in New York, our governor is Governor Gavin Newsom. They're looking for how to protect the citizens of their states. So they're asking everyone to please, please stay home, do not travel, because one of the reasons we're in this large surge right now is people went home for Thanksgiving. They knew that they shouldn't. They were like, I just can't help myself. I have to go home. So if you have to travel for Christmas, just think about, am I going to be safe? Am I taking COVID with me to where I'm going? I was talking to a lady, and she is 82. And she said for the first time in her entire life, she's going to spend Christmas alone. That just broke my heart, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I mean, because I don't, I can call her and talk to her, but I can't see her. I can't be with her. So let's just make some good conscious decisions and try and keep everyone safe.
Yep, I completely agree with Gloria. The reason why we have this uptick in cases is because people weren't listening to to the mandates about, well, I don't know if it really was a mandate, but they were saying, please do not travel. They were really set against people not traveling, and people weren't listening. And I'm pretty sure over the holidays, people are still going to travel. If it's not by plane, it's probably going to be driving.
Yes.
And you know yourself, maybe you know that you've not been near anyone that's had it, but how do you know that the people you're meeting, where they've been and what they've been doing, their activity? You don't know 100% sure, right?
Exactly. There's a young girl, her name is Skylar Mack, and she's 18. She went out of the United States, and the requirement is when you come to the Cayman Islands, you shelter for 14 days. You stay away from people. Well, her boyfriend was in a competition, so she decided to go and support him. She took her, I guess they put like a tracking bracelet or anklet or something on people coming into their country, and she took it off, left it in the hotel room. So she goes out, she's at the event, the police find out about it, and they arrest her. Initially, they were going to put her in jail for 6 months. Now they're having conversations between 2 to 4 months. She's like, I'm really sorry. It was stupid what I did, and it's, responsibility and accountability, because she tested negative before she left the hotel. And I'm sure they're going to continue to test her. Um, People of the United States of America, our laws are our laws. When you travel outside of the United States of America, you have to adhere to those laws. That's what's important. So, we were just talking to a friend of mine who had COVID, and I had shared it with my community. Her name is Wanda. And Wanda recovered. And, she's tired and she's weak, but she's okay. Well, today she just shared with me that she has, her tongue is, it's sensitive and it hurts, and she can't taste.
And this is
Now we
after
thought
she's
that was,
recovered, right?
yeah, and you and I thought when you can't taste, that's a symptom that you have it, not after you have recovered. But now she's having a hard problem. And this particular friend, she's not curvy, she's pretty thin. So I don't know about you, but if I'm, if I'm not, if I don't taste something, like if I drink something and there's nothing there, I don't need that. I can just drink water. So now there's a concern, is she going to start to lose weight? Because she's not going to eat because she can't taste it.
Right. So that's one of the post symptoms that she's experiencing. And as we've said in previous chats, a lot of people are experiencing post symptoms. and no two people have the same symptoms. So like Gloria's friend, she said, has these post symptoms of tingling tongue and not being able to taste. Other
Right.
people have had other things happening like muscular. I've heard people having muscular, a lot of fatigue, tingling in their hands underneath their skin. And it's just really wreaking havoc on their daily, day-to-day tasks and what they're doing every day.
Right. Right. So, this is new. It's not what it always has been. It's not the norm. So let's not think, oh, I don't have those symptoms, so I don't have it. Because here we go. These are symptoms that we didn't know about. And I think because it's mutating, I think the symptoms are going to mutate also. So just please, please be careful, especially now. Like normally today, I would be knee deep in pies and cakes and getting all my ham and my meat and all the stuff that I need. And my husband and I, it's just going to be us. We're just going to take it easy. There's no reason to go out and cook all that food. There are so many people out right now shopping and doing things. I've seen on the news, they're like, oh my God, if you don't have to come to the store, don't come to the store. And this is a great time for you to follow up on something Rosetta and I shared with you all last week. And that is to show some local love to restaurants and small businesses in the area. You have all those Christmas presents that you need. If there's something that you won't, now granted, Christmas is only 2 days away, you won't get it. However, if you're looking for some conscious jewelry, Rosetta's your girl. Hit us up and let us know and we'll get it to you. If you want some makeup, I'm your girl. Just hit us up and let us know. Just slow down, take a pause, and be careful.
And I have to repeat again that Gloria makes the most amazing makeup. And what sets her apart from others? 100% mineral. She only probably has like probably 4 ingredients or less, 5 ingredients or less in her mineral makeups. And if anybody knows about minerals, they actually help with your skin. They improve some of your defects and some of your sensitivities, because a lot of times what happens is if we're deficient in minerals and you put minerals on your face, you're going to
Yes,
get minerals into your body, back into your
that's
body.
right.
So you're
They're
going
going
to
to just
replenish what
absorb.
you're missing.
They're
Yeah.
just going to absorb those minerals.
So if you want makeup, as we said, it's only 2 days away. But I'm sure anyone that you want to buy gifts for, they'll be okay with that. Just say, I'm purchasing something for you that's handmade. And
Exactly.
it's, don't tell them what it is, but you're going to enjoy it. And again, like Gloria said, I do offer, because I'm a health coach, I do offer my jewelry, interchangeable jewelry with health benefits. And they
Yes.
improve blood flow, inflammation, and also improve your mood. So
Yes.
comment below if you're
Yes.
interested, and we will put our links there. We put it last time, but we'll put it again if you're interested in shopping. And again, you won't get them in time for Christmas, but whoever receives them will be mighty grateful.
They will love it. And, as she was saying, the one thing that I love is I have a makeup setting spray. Well, it's kind of based on colloidal silver, and colloidal silver is antifungal, antibacterial. I spray myself before I go out. When I'm out and anybody gets too close to me, I spray myself. I'm constantly reinforcing the silver to kill whatever could possibly be near me. So like Rosetta said, we'll put the links down below, and that would be awesome.
And I just had a quick question for you, for people watching. So does that mean that we could use that elixir for hand spray, hand sanitizer?
Well, I have some ladies that have been doing it. I know I do, because I know it has colloidal silver and copper. So they both are antifungal, antibacterial. So just think about a double dose. So
Wow.
I am definitely, definitely using my elixir now. I mean, where I might take a bottle and it would last me like, 2 or 3 months, I'm going through a bottle a month because I'm really using
Well,
it.
there you go, everyone. Double duty. Use it as a set and spray.
Yes.
Use it as a sanitizer. Amazing.
Right. Yes.
Something I did not know.
Yes. See, we learn something new all the time. As we kind of started our conversation, we talked a little bit about Ellen, and when she did her Instagram post, she talked about, she's like, my back hurts. She goes, I never heard that one of the symptoms was back pain. So she could have been going along doing her show thinking, oh, my back is just hurting because we've been at home for months, and not realizing it, because she looked kind of pale in the Instagram post. She kept saying, I'm doing so much better. I feel so much better. So Ellen, you're in our thoughts and prayers. We want you to do good and to come back. We want everybody to have a wonderful Merry Christmas, a wonderful Happy Kwanzaa, a wonderful Happy Hanukkah, amazing holiday season, irregardless of your spiritual, religious belief. We want you to just slow down. If you think about this, full circle, the one thing that COVID has done is it has made us all slow down. It has allowed us to, I was listening at something like an actor, and he was like, he went from film to film to film. And now he doesn't have anything to do. And he's like, I had said it would be really nice in between two films if I could get a break. And he got a break. Now filming has restarted again, but he got a break. And he said, I got to spend time with my family. He goes, I got just enough time with my kids before they were ready to kill me, and I was ready to kill them. And now I'm back out and working. So wonderful, wonderful things can come from this virus. We can learn to be loving and compassionate to each other. We are people of the United States of America. We have always been a loving community. We may have our opinions. However, we used to allow people to express their opinions. And now it's my way or the highway. And that's just not who we want. We want everybody to be able to say what they have to say. And we all listen to each other as they express it. You don't have to agree, just allow it to be. And that will shift the energy, because we have to shift the energy so that we can save Mother Earth. You can't get on a plane today and go to Mars. So you better take care of what we got right here, right now.
Yep, I really agree. And I hope that I say all the time, I reflect back on this year, and what it's taught, I think, is teaching people to slow down. And say that again, that's what Gloria said. And hopefully it's taught you to slow down instead of rushing, rushing, rushing.
Yes. So Ellen always ends her show with, I feel the love in this room. I send it back to you. Go out and spread it around the world out there. And that's what Rosetta and I want you all to do. Spread the love, be the light, be the change in the world you want to see.
Exactly. I love that. I love that quote. And I heard of that quote a while ago, and I love it. Be the change that you want to be or you want to see. Love it.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, we loved it. We love doing our chats. And as we said, this is the last one before the New Year's. And we're so excited for everyone to have a marvelous, fantastic holiday season. We'll be back in the new year. I can't wait. 2021. My goodness. Can't believe it. But we've loved doing our chats. Even though we couldn't be together, me and Gloria, we just love doing them. Doesn't matter where we are. We just love doing them. We love chatting. We love having our teas. Today's our hard tea.
Today's a little fruity.
Been drinking this constantly throughout the chat. I've been sipping all along, and it's delicious. Absolutely delicious. But everyone, thank you so much. We've enjoyed this year, even though it's been unprecedented like no other. We've gotten through this, and we just want to thank everyone for your support, the people that have commented, people that have liked and loved us, subscribe. We really, really appreciate that. We do so much appreciate your support. But so please stay safe, and don't forget, if you like our chat, we would love it if you would like it by hitting the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and you can also share. I'm going to share with other people. And also, if you don't want to miss any of our chats, you can hit that bell notification. Which
2021, we're going to have a bell.
2021, we will have a bell. I don't have how many chats have we gone through doing this? Not with a bell. Next time we will have a bell
until the end.
So So 2021 is a start of a new thing, the bell. Okay.
Yes, the
So
bell.
that's the bell notification, so you don't miss any of our chats. Be the first to know about our chats. But
Yes,
again, we wish you safe. Please be safe. Be
yes,
careful, wear your masks, and
yes,
have a most marvelous holiday season and a
yes,
fantastic new year, whatever you're doing.
yes.
And remember to always
Always
keep smiling.
keep smiling.
Bye-bye, everyone. Toodles till
Bye.
2021. Bye-bye.
2021. Here we come.